Hey guys, welcome back to UMX Cocktails. This week we're doing the Old Fashioned. Alright, so we're transitioning from the summer season. Now we're going into fall and winter. And what better spirit to drink than whiskey? Whiskey is one of the most popular spirits here in the United States to drink during these seasons. And really, I thought the best way to start is the Old Fashioned. The Old Fashioned, again, is more, there's a clarification to be made about the Old Fashioned. It's more of a style of cocktail than an actual cocktail itself. So that's very important to understand. So you can make it with any spirit, really. You can make it with rum, gin, whiskey as we're doing today, tequila if you'd like. You can even make it with an elderflower liqueur. Anything really, just to understand the four basic parts is water, sugar, bitters, and spirit. So without those four basic parts, it's not an Old Fashioned. So going a little into the history of the Old Fashioned. In 1862, Jerry Thomas, the grandfather of cocktails, he created a recipe book. It was published in 1862 with a recipe that's called the Old Fashioned Holland Gin Cocktail. So that's a gin cocktail. Again, you can use any spirit, and it had that same basis for the bitters, the sugar, a bit of water, and then the gin, the spirit. Of course, so we said the four parts, the four pillars, as I like to call them. Okay? And then about 20 years later, in 1880, there was another recipe, and of course, Louisville, Kentucky, the home of Kentucky bourbon, you know, the powerhouse. It was in the Pendennis Club, that James E. Pepper, who was a bartender at that time, he created the recipe. That's what was said to have born the Old Fashioned, the bourbon Old Fashioned we're going to make today, okay? So let's get right into it. So again, the bitters. So we're going to start with our bitters. We're going to do Angostura. This is the oldest recipe of bitters. We're going to do 3 dashes of that. I'll put a link in the description of where you can get your Angostura bitters, okay? Then we're going to do orange bitters. This is the ballast. You can do 2 dashes of that, okay? And then, as of course the sugar component of our Old Fashioned, we're going to use Demerara syrup, which is 2 parts sugar in the raw to 1 part water, which we'll talk about in another video. I'll make them for you. We're going to do a Barspoon. Of course, this Barspoon is a bit smaller than your regular Barspoon, the one you see that's wider. So we're going to do two counts of this. That's a whole Barspoon. All right. And then lastly, of course, our bourbon. So right here, we're going to use our Michter's straight Kentucky bourbon. Okay, we're going to use 2 ounces or 60 mils of this bourbon. Okay, we got the bourbon. And then lastly, some of you might ask, where's the water? Well, we're going to stir this drink. This is a lot different than shaking it. So typically, with this type of drink, when you have a very clear spirit, or clear drink, I should say, you want to stir it, because when you shake, you really bring air bubbles into the cocktail, and you don't want that with a clear spirit. You want to keep it as clear as possible. You want to stir for about 30 seconds. Keep it nice, dilute. It'll dilute slower when you stir, so that's why we do have to a little bit longer. We have to stir for longer than we shake. Okay. All right, beautiful. Then, of course, we're going to have our rocks glass with our big cube. It's going to allow us to have not a lot of dilution. It's going to keep the drink cold, but it's not going to dilute as much. Okay, we're just going to strain it over. And then for garnish, we're going to peel an orange, since we have the orange bitters in there. It's just a classic garnish. Going to do a nice long orange peel. Express it. Make sure the pith is facing you, and then you express all the oils from that skin right there. Get it all around the glass. And then we're going to peel a lemon as well, freshly peeled lemon. express that as well. All around the glass, so when your guest grabs the glass, it's very fresh. All right? And there it is, the old-fashioned. Let's give it a taste. That's beautiful. See, so this is, again, a very, very classic and very legendary cocktail because it's just balanced. Very, very balanced cocktail, very smooth, very clear. So the Angostura bitters, the orange bitters, balance really well with the Demerara syrup, and then the bourbon as well is on the sweeter side since it's corn-based. You know, it really balances well, the sweetness and that bitterness. You know, and then the water, of course, makes it really, really round cocktail and it smooths it out altogether. Thanks, guys, for watching. I actually wanted to give a quick shout out to Chris Cannon of thank you. A message of thanks because without him letting me use the space, without Jackie Hollow letting me use the space, we wouldn't have this channel. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other. So, of course, thank you for that. And thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, I'll keep teaching you. You keep mixing them. Cheers.